This is the home of Simeon Carter, and this was one of Parley Pratt's missionary journeys. You can picture him knocking at the door that you see behind me, and he brought the Book of Mormon into the home and preached to Simeon Carter, and he was baptized later. An officer arrested Parley while he was preaching to Simeon and took him 2 miles to the town square of South Amherst, where he was put on trial. There's no story better on Parley Pratt than Stuboy, the bulldog story. After Parley Pratt was arrested in the home of Simeon Carter, he says they went 2 miles toward the center of what is now South Amherst. And there they conducted a evening trial for Parley Pratt. He had Ziba Peterson with him, and they sat in the court, and these are the comments that Parley Pratt made about that court proceeding. He said that they found false witnesses in attendance, a judge who boasted of his intention to thrust us into prison. Then he said that I was soon ordered to prison or to pay a sum of money that I had not in the world. I was retained in court, tantalized, abused, and urged to settle the matter, of which I made no reply for some time, which greatly exhausted their patience. It was now near midnight. I now called on Brother Peterson to sing a hymn in the court. We sung, "Oh, how happy are they." This exasperated them still more, and they pressed us greatly to settle a business by paying the money. So Parley had a proposition for them. He said, "May it please the court, I have one proposal to make for a final settlement." Then he said, "It is this: if the witnesses who have given testimony in the case will repent of their false swearing, the magistrate of his unjust and wicked judgment, and of his persecution, blackguardism, and abuse, then we'll all kneel down together and we'll pray for you that God might forgive you." Well, the judge responded, "My big bulldog, pray for me." "The devil help us," exclaimed another. The court adjourned, and Parley was taken to a public house across from the town square in South Amherst. The next morning, the officer came and let him out of the public house, and they sat in the town square having breakfast. The other missionaries that were accompanying him on the Lamanite mission passed them, and Parley told him, "You just go on your way, I'll join you." And then we'll pick up Parley's narrative again. He said, "I walked out into the public square, accompanied by the officer. 'Mr. Peabody,' said I, 'are you good at a race?' 'No,' said he, 'but my big bulldog is, and he's been trained to assist me in my office for several years, and he'll take any man down at my bidding.' 'Well, Mr. Peabody,' Parley said, 'you compelled me to go a mile. I've gone with you 2 miles. You've given me an opportunity to preach, to sing. You've also entertained me with lodging and breakfast. I must now go on my journey. If you're good at a race, you can accompany me. And that having been said, I thank you for your kindness. Good day, sir.' Well, what happened is he started down the road running in the direction the missionaries had gone. And he said that the constable was so surprised that he didn't do anything. So Parley stopped, and he turned around and again invited him to a race. And then he said, he still stood amazed, but I renewed my exertions and soon increased my speed to something like that of a deer. He did not awake from his astonishment sufficiently to start in pursuit until I'd gained perhaps 200 yards. I already had leaped a fence, was making my way through a field. He now came hallooing after me and shouting to his dog to seize me. The dog, being one of the largest I ever saw, came close on my footsteps with all his fury. The officer behind me, still in pursuit, clapping his hands and hallooing. "Stuboy, take him! Stuboy, take him! Watch! Lay hold of him! I say, down with him!" pointing his finger in the direction I was running. The dog was fast overtaking me and in the act of leaping on me, when, quick as lightning, the thought struck me to assist the officer in sending the dog with all fury to the forest a little distance before me. I pointed my finger in that direction, clapped my hands, and shouted in imitation of the officer. The dog hastened past me and with redoubled speed toward the forest, being urged by the officer and myself, and both of us running in the same direction. Gaining the forest, I soon lost sight of the officer and dog, and have not seen them since. Well, Parley said he pursued a back course, and then he crossed over the Vermilion River. Now this was a long distance to have run, probably in the magnitude of 10 miles. However, there's only one broad bridge that was across the Vermilion River in that area, and it's this is the Vermilion River behind me, and the bridge is right up there. Several were waiting for Parley to preach to him as he crossed the bridge, but he said he had an officer in pursuit, and he couldn't stop and do it. He had to catch up to his brethren. He left them here and then overtook the brethren by nightfall.